Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock, and yes, Kizzy Rock is my birth given name. Happy Friday evening. I want to say hey to all my subscribers, new as well as seasoned. I got a word for you. Tap in. Guys, it's listen, when I tell you guys, and I'm not exaggerating, I have literally just sat down from being on the move nonstop, literally since 7 o'clock this morning. It's been a crazy, crazy busy day. So I didn't get a recording in this morning. To those of you who've messaged me and asked me about Mr. Steve, he went to the ER this morning. He messaged me and said that they released him. Of course, again, he has stage 4 cancer. There's not much they can do because he's refusing hospice. So they kind of just give him a shot, things like that, to kind of get him through feeling better for a couple of days and then release him. But he's fine. He's back to the room. He said, I haven't seen him, but he did text me. But I want to make this recording about exactly what that title says. You know, I promise I've said this probably in 50% of my recordings. I'm so grateful and thankful when people tell me how much they admire me or just they look forward to my words, my recordings, things like that. That really ignites my spirit because, again, when you're called to certain things, the same way you're called to certain things, you don't always feel like it all the time, right? And then you have those people and those things that you pour into, and then they're not grateful. So you kind of just feel like blah at times. So when you have these individuals, as well as your messages and emails, things like that, where people tell you like they're thankful and they're grateful, it really ignites your spirit and it just gives you that boost to want to keep on and keep on and keep on. So I had to swing by one of my clients' home today. And I tell you guys, I'm so awkward when people like are pouring into me with gratitude and telling me how much I've blessed their life, etc. I'm like the most awkward person during that moment because, again, I have a hard time receiving that, right? So as soon as I opened the door, one of my staff, literally, she walked up to me and she grabbed my hand. It was so awkward, right? She just grabbed my hand out of nowhere. I still had my keys in my hand and she grabbed my hand and she's like literally looking me dead in my eyes. And I'm like, okay, what's up? So she was like, I just want to tell you, thank you. And mind you, her eyes is literally locked into my eyes. It's almost like she won't even allow me to look away, right? She's like, I just want to tell you, thank you. Thank you for pouring into me. Thank you for seeing more in myself than I can see for myself. Thank you for being such a great example. Like, I admire you, the way you move, the way you this, the way you that. And she just went on and on and on. And I was like, thank you. And I mean, she's always like a grateful person in general, but when she left, I had to think like, what sparked this particular moment of gratitude? And then I remember we had a conversation like a couple of weeks ago. We were speaking about something, within the job, and then we kind of just branched off and just to a different topic about someone that she was, I guess, dating. I don't know what they got going on, but dating or whatever. But she was just getting so frustrated and annoyed because it seemed as if every time she suggests something to him about, hey, let's hang out, right? It don't have to be sex this time, but let's just hang out. And she was just saying that it's always like if she's pulling sex from off the table, which that's something that she's currently convicted on and working on, it's almost like he is pulling away from her or pretty much playing quote unquote hard to get type of thing. So the way she said, she was basically like calling him and telling him like, hey, I mean, let's go out to eat. Let's do this. Let's do that. I'll pay for it. And I was like, hold up, sis. Like, first of all, don't ever beg anybody, man or woman, anybody for their time, point blank period. Because what I've learned a long time ago is that no matter how busy someone is, everyone does exactly what they want to do. And that's myself included. I'm extremely busy. And I can remember, making up excuses, years ago, telling people, well, I'm at work, or I can't do this, I'm just busy. But then when I really think about it, I could have made an effort. Yes, it may have been a stretch and it may have required me to kind of, but I would have done it if that's somebody who I truly, truly would have sacrificed and wanted to be with or give my time to. So the point of the matter is, no matter how busy someone is, people will make time for you if that's what they choose. So when we start to settle for those excuses like, oh, I'm working, or oh, I'm tired, or I'm this, I'm that, and don't get it twisted now. I mean, life can wear you out. So we're not saying that people can't be tired. I'm just saying excuses after excuses after excuses after excuses, especially when sex is not on the table, right? You really have your answer. But because so many of us haven't tapped into our higher self, right? We will take what we can get, basically. And I'm like, chick, sis, you're a king's kid. You're a king's kid. You don't take no scraps. You don't chase, you attract. Point blank, period. When you walk into a room, everybody wants you. Point blank, period. When your spirit is aligned, when you know who you are. But when you're operating from a lower level of consciousness, right, and you haven't healed yet, meaning you're still believing the lies that trauma told you. You're believing the lies that the things you heard in school, which for her, it was, she's a heavy girl, extremely beautiful, right? Heavy, but listen, many, many men like heavy plus size women. Don't let society lie to you, right? So my point is, all these things that she heard growing up and just trauma issues and things like that, when you don't heal from that, you still believe it. Even in your 30s, even in your 40s, your 50s, 60s, 20s, whatever, you still believe those voices. That is the only reason why you will settle and take, quote unquote, whatever you can get, or run behind someone to try to make them take you out, to make them see your value. First off, you can never, ever make someone see your value. If they can't see your value, then that means that if you're already valued up, you're already leveled up. If they can't see your value, then that's because they haven't tapped into their higher self yet. So they can't even see what you bring to the table. This is why, well, I won't say that. That might be a little. But if they haven't reached their highest level, then they can't even recognize what you bring to the table. But a person who has already increased their knowledge and leveled up and just tapped into their higher self, they know a king, they know a queen when they come across them. You're running behind or dealing with people who don't even see or respect your value is because you really believe that this is all you deserve. So this is why healing is important, because again, before you heal, you really believe the traumas. You believe your exes. You believe your bullies. You're programmed to believe that stuff. So healing and sitting in a single season allows you, again, to break down these barriers of defense. And then God will then replenish you with the things that are the truth and expel the lies. And then once you tap into your higher self, which is a process, again, please understand it's a process, because I get a lot of emails. People are like 3 months in and they're ready to give up. Honey, you better put some years up in the thing. We're going to be real, right? Okay. But everybody's different. But honey, 3 months from a lifetime of trauma? Okay. All I'm going to tell you is this. Don't focus on the time. Focus on your healing, because the higher and higher you get and you realize the benefits that comes with healing, the peace of mind that comes with healing, the blessings that will be released because of healing, and so on. You don't even focus on the time frame of your transformational season. You're so excited about all the new blessings that's coming in, you're not watching a clock. So once you go through your healing and transformation season and you truly know who you are, which is the person you've always been prior to the traumas, prior to the heartbreak, prior to the rejection, and so on, when you know who you are, when you tap into your purpose and your calling, that is when, again, you know nobody can touch you. You won't even be out here comparing yourself to the next person. You won't even be out here trying to throw shade at the next person because you'll be so busy. Listen, don't call me and tell me what this person is doing. Don't call and tell me what this person got going on, what they ain't doing, what they don't, what they look like. That is not my business. That's not my business. You should be so busy on leveling up that nobody can even call you with some nonsense. And when someone attempts to bring nonsense to you, you brush it off, delete them, and keep it moving because you know who you are. And then you know that that person is only coming after you because they haven't tapped into their higher self yet. So sadly, they see you as a threat, and you're not. And you're not. You just chose to put the work in. They chose to just remain where they are and live a life trying to make other people's lives miserable. But what they don't realize is that once you tap into your higher self, nobody can make you miserable. Literally, they just can't, because you know now what it really is. You know that it's not about you and it's about them. But anyway, I want to encourage my sisters or my brothers. If you already tapped into your higher self, right? And that's also a process. So I'm not saying like, oh, you made it higher self, right? Because it's an ongoing process. But if you know that you're no longer where you used to be, right? And you know that you're climbing ladders and you're climbing levels, please don't forget to reach back and grab a hand from your brothers or your sisters. Right? Because some people get so consumed with their new life almost that it's almost like, well, I put the work in, didn't put the work in. And I get that too, because you're right. Some people just want something for nothing. But then you have individuals who just don't know where to start. You may have had a nudge from somebody, right, that they may not even have exposure to. So every situation is different. But if you're around somebody and you can really be a blessing and you can really help that person in whatever way, especially when you know like they're looking at you and they admire you, make sure you're pouring into people, because that's what growing, healing, and all that stuff is about. That's about healing first, because what I realize is that sometimes, and I was guilty of this, it's almost like you're only a third of the process into healing, right? And discovering who you truly are. And because you think I feel so bad, I want everybody to feel this way, right? So now you want to go back and you want to grab the hands of everybody, your family, your friends, strangers, and you're not even completely healed yet. So it's almost like you're bringing people on the train and y'all just going to sit there at the track. Like y'all ain't even going nowhere, right? You're going to just sit in the train at the track because you haven't even, no, you gotta level up first, which will require you to leave some people behind. Hard part, yeah. And then once you get to a certain level where you're stable enough, you don't have to be, the levels of all levels, but you're stable enough now to give words of affirmations, to give encouragements, to go back and look at one of your assistants like, listen, you're the truth. We're not about to do that. We're not about to settle. And I'm watching you beg somebody. Where you do that at? We don't do that up over here. We don't chase. We attract. Point blank. Period. Your mindset have to get to the point where, and again, it is a process of getting there, right? Because before you get there, you're walking in rooms and it's almost like you feel like you don't belong. You feel like other people are on higher levels than you. You feel that way only, again, because you have not tapped into your healing process and then your ultimate higher self. Once you get there, the people with that mindset about you got to chase them and you got to this and that and all that nonsense, and they're calling you all type of morning and all this and that, playing these games, these kind of people wouldn't even approach you. Like, listen, your aura going to already give them, your aura going to give what needs to be given, point blank, period. They're not even going to approach you. Of course, you still keep it down to earth and you smile and you talk, but they know, and you already know, it ain't going past this hello, how you doing? Have a great night type of thing, right? Yeah, all right. So this is why you're attracting quote unquote dusties. You're attracting a certain type because people feel your energy. People can watch you and look and tell, whatever, but people can feel your energy through your conversation. When you open your mouth in your conversation, when you're acting desperate and you're acting like, oh, well, can we just do this? I will pay for this. I will do it. That's you're giving them everything they need. And I'm the most down to earth chick. Literally the most down to earth chick. Like, seriously, I'm like the friend everybody wants. I'm going to be your girl and your best friend. We're going to shoot some pool. We're going to pray together. We're going to, all this stuff, right? I'm like that type of girl. I'm that down to earth girl. But I'm not playing no games. You going to come correct. Point blank, period. Because I know what I deserve. So I want everybody to get there. But can I have an honest moment? It's a choice. It's a choice, literally. You can say all day long, I want to heal, I want to heal, I want to get to my higher self, I want to heal, I want to, this and this. It's a choice. You literally have to make a choice. And again, most people are afraid to make that choice because how difficult and how excruciating, and it is excruciating, process is. But don't let that deter you. Don't let that make you so afraid, because on the other side of that are blessings that will blow your mind. Blessings that will help you to not even remember the excruciating process. And again, the process is only hard because you have to remove the barriers that you put up. So feeling raw and feeling vulnerable is hard when you've been guarded all your life. So that's really why it's hard. When you boil down to things, that's really what it is. But I want everybody, girls included, right? I want my sisters to know that no chick have one up on you. I don't care how beautiful she is. I don't care how successful you may deem her to be. I don't care about this, and that. Don't ever let any chick make you feel like she has one up on you. Because she doesn't. She may have went through a healing process. And not only that, the things that you see her with or whatever is going on, you don't know what it took to get those things, right? People only see, the blessings or when things manifest, but they don't know the hits you have to take. They don't know the gut-wrenching times you had. They don't know about all that stuff. But know that if you're willing to go through all that, you can get that and more. There is no person on the face of this earth who is your competition. You're your only competition, your prior self. Ain't nobody I'm telling you, I be telling y'all this, but I mean this when I say it. I don't care who you bring Bring anybody you want. Call any name you want. I promise you, even if I'm looking at her like, oh, this chick is, it's more so less in a mindset of she will make me challenge myself to get even better versus looking at her with a side eye, because I know it's all a lie. I know everybody don't have it all together. I know that as beautiful as she may be, she's dealing with self-esteem issues at times too, because she's a woman. I know that as beautiful as she is, she's gotten cheated on as well, because after so long, beauty doesn't matter when you've had it long enough. So if I could just snap my finger and have one wish, well, no, I wouldn't. I'm lying right there. I'm about to say that one wish would be something way more major. Just peace in the world and everybody just like that would be on a major level. But if I could have one of several wishes, it will be that everybody can truly understand that nobody has one up on you. When you start to see yourself for who you truly are, you will realize that. So if you choose, start your healing process, ask God to step in, because he has to step in and guide you, right? That ain't nothing. You can't even do that. I promise you. Ain't nothing we can do with that, right? That's a spiritual process. Ask God to step in to heal you. You got to be real. You got to be honest and be like, Lord, I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired trying to figure this thing out. Obviously, my way ain't working. Can you please help me? Can you guide me? Can you show me? Can you teach me? You have to have a real, authentic, breakdown, vulnerable moment. But again, don't do it if you ain't ready now. I'm just going to keep it real. But if you're really, really ready, ask God to step in. Next, buy your edge growth. Buy your edge growth, because your edge is about to get snatched left, back, front, side. Listen, woo! You're about to lose some people, a lot of people, a lot of things. You're going to be thrown in some situations that you can't get out, but it's all designed to stretch you, and stretching is very uncomfortable, right? But it's all designed to stretch you, because if you're not stretched, you're going to keep that same mentality thinking you only deserve this. I only deserve to live the rest of my life on Section 8, no knock or disrespect. I only deserve to live the rest of my life renting versus owning, no knock or disrespect. I only deserve to have a baby daddy who's been living with me for 15 years and still refuses to marry me, right? So if you don't stretch, then you will only believe that you deserve that. So stretching is about letting you know that you deserve more and that you can handle more. But yes, it is going to require a lot of intentionality. So yes, you will go through pruning. Again, things and people. You will go through stretching. You will go through again that moment of removing those barriers. Moments of having to forgive. And we can go on and on and on and on. And this is why the process is so long. But within that long process, God is going to show you exactly who you are, the power that you have, the confidence that was always there before it got damaged because of trauma, etc. He's going to show you the limits that you can reach. You're going to have to be, and that's another stretching part there, right? Because he's going to show you things you don't believe that you can even reach those heights, but he's going to show you how, and that's going to require a lot of things. Your time, your energy, things you used to do, you can't do that stuff no more, at least not in this process. And when you finish, you don't even want to do it anyway. Like, you're in the whole. You'd rather just sit down and have a dinner meeting, versus the club or lounge or whatever. You just rather have a good, nice, upscale dinner meeting with some people on your level type of thing. You will get more pleasure out of that versus. And again, that's no knock or disrespect to your friends who start doing that. They're just not. They didn't decide to climb when you did. They will get there eventually. But in the meantime, you're going to have to be okay with them talking about you that, oh, you're forgetting about them. Listen, I got to do what I got to do so I can come back for y'all if you're ready. Right? So all that stuff is stuff that you will go through and much more. Find you a great mentor. If you can't afford it, I always tell you guys, y'all know who I recommend. Pastor R.C. Blakes is free. We got to stop sitting here acting like we don't have information when we have everything now. So it's not that we don't have it. It's not that we can't do it. It's because we're too fearful and we know what we have to go through. So then, again, I ask, how bad do you want it? It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.